I married for a good 16 years without having even one child, and whenever I was 3 months pregnant, a group of little strange children would come in my dream and tie my hands and my legs, and they would lay me in the mud and begin to hit, kick, and sit on my stomach, and when I wake up I would have a miscarriage, and my family and my husband's family made my life miserable for not being able to give birth. Treasure and Dan have been in a relationship since their first year in the university. On their graduation day, Dan proposed and got engaged to Treasure. Dan was from a poor background, he struggled and sponsored himself in school, and without Treasure, he could have given up and dropped out of school. Treasure contributed immensely to make sure Dan didn't drop out of school, and she was from an average family. A few months after their graduation, Treasure's uncle secured a well-paid company job for Treasure in the city, but Treasure was not ready to do the work because she desired to do a business. So she gave the job to Dan because of the love he had for him and the hardship he went through in school. And when Treasure's siblings and parents heard that Treasure has given the company job to her fiancé Dan, they became very furious, and thenceforward her siblings developed a serious hatred for her. They hated her to the point that none of them attended her traditional marriage and wedding ceremony. And her siblings were all doing amazingly well. A year later, Dan built a house in a city and relocated his poor family to the new house. He was not stable in the house because of the type of work he was doing. He commonly came back home during the weekend to spend time with his wife and his family. A few months after Dan built the house, Treasure got pregnant, and a few weeks after she got pregnant, a strange girl named Favor, who was 5 years old, visited her in her supermarket. "Auntie, please help me. I am very hungry. I have not been eating for 2 days now. Please help me with anything you have," Favor begged. "Hey, little girl, do I resemble your mother?" Treasure asked furiously. "Please, Auntie, help me please, I am dying of hunger," she begged. "Where is your mother? She must be very careless for allowing a little girl like you to go around begging for food. I am ashamed of her. Auntie, please, I don't have a mother. My grandma told me that my mom died 3 months after she gave birth to me, and I don't have a father, so I was raised by my poor grandma, and she can't do anything now because she is blind." Favor responded with teary eyes. "So that old blind witch sent you to come and ruin my business, ABI?" Treasure asked. "Please, Auntie, my grandma is not a witch," she replied. "Leave this shop before I'll beat you with this broom. Small witch. Please, Auntie, help me please. I am not a witch, I am a poor orphan," Favor begged. "My friend, get out of my shop, stinky witch." Treasure forcefully pushed the little girl out of her shop, and the poor girl fell and got injured on her knees. "Will you get up from the front of my shop and go back to wherever you came from before I beat you this afternoon?" Treasure commanded. The poor girl found it difficult to get up from the ground, but she managed and got up due to the way Treasure threatened. On her way, she began to cry. "Oh God! Why did you create me to suffer? I don't have a mother, I don't have a father, and my granny, whom I depended on, is now blind. 2 days now I haven't eaten anything and my eyes are turning me badly," she lamented. While she was crying on the road, one man named John, who was about to rush his pregnant wife to a hospital, came down from his car and stopped her. "Little girl, why are you crying?" John asked. "Sir, I am very hungry. For 2 days now I haven't eaten and my eyes are turning me," Favor responded. "Oh, but where are your parents?" John asked. "Sir, I don't have parents. I am a poor orphan. I stay with my poor blind grandma," she responded. "I am sorry about that, little girl. I could have loved to help you, but I am in haste to a hospital right now. My wife is about to give birth, so I am rushing her to the hospital. Take this 5K and get food for yourself and your grandma. I will see you some other time," John replied. "God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir." "Honey, where are you?" John's wife screamed. "Honey, please, I am coming," John responded. "Come, oh, please come and drive me to the hospital. The baby is coming, the baby is coming," John's wife murmured. "Little girl, go home because you're too small to walk on this busy express road where vehicles move to and fro," John replied. "Thank you, sir." The poor Favor ran joyfully with the 5K to Treasure's shop to buy food items, and Treasure chased the poor girl away. And just as she wanted to cross the express road to another shop to buy the foodstuff, the vehicle that was coming speedily hit the poor Favor heavily inside a gutter and passed. And before the incident occurred, John had driven his wife recklessly to the hospital, and there was nobody there to hastily go to the gutter to check whether the poor girl was dead or alive. 20 minutes after the vehicle hit the poor Favor inside the gutter, a bus driver stopped at the exact place that the vehicle hit Favor for some of the passengers who reached their destination to come down, and while they were giving the bus conductor money, one of the passengers was about to spit in the gutter suddenly saw Favor inside the gutter. She couldn't believe what her eyes saw. She hastily removed her eyes glasses and glanced at Favor inside gutter. "Oh no!" She screamed and carelessly jumped inside the gutter to bring out Favor, and blood was gushing out from her body. Everyone was extremely touched and shocked by what they saw. One of the passengers placed her ears on Favor's chest to see whether her heart was beating or not, but she discovered that Favor's heart was beating very slowly. So they hastily rushed Favor to a nearby hospital for urgent treatment, and it was that same hospital that John took his wife to. When they got to the emergency ward in the hospital, nurses quickly attended to her before the arrival of a doctor. While the treatment was going on, one of the passengers, who was John's chef, suddenly remembered that John, her boss, told her to bring food for his wife who had just given birth in the hospital. So she ran to the ward where John's wife was staying. "Faith, what kept you so long to bring the food?" John asked while collecting the food from her. "Please, sir, I am very sorry for the delay. Something terrible happened on my way here," Faith replied. "Faith, what happened that made you starve my wife?" John responded while trying to feed his wife. "Sir, on my way here, one of the passengers that was inside the same bus with me saw a little girl who had an accident and was left inside a gutter, and we rushed her to the emergency ward here." "Where exactly did that occur?" John asked curiously. "Sir, is the junction after Kings and Queens Plaza." The spoon that John used to feed his wife fell from his hand, and something in him told him that it was the little girl to whom he gave 5K earlier, but he couldn't believe it. "Faith, how is the girl? Please describe her speedily. I am just desperate to know the girl." "She is a bit fair, and I think she is about 5 years or 6 years old girl." "Did she put on a black dress?" John asked with teary eyes. "Yes, sir." "Oh no. It can't be that poor orphan. Honey, please, I am coming. Let me go and see that little girl." "Honey, I don't understand. Is that little strange girl more important than me, your wife who just gave birth?" John's wife asked. "Honey, please, you will not understand. Just give me a moment. I will be back shortly. Faith, please take care of my wife and the baby." John rushed out from his wife's ward to the emergency ward to see Favor, and when he got there, he saw Favor lying lifelessly on the bed. "Doctor, please, what happened to her?" John asked with tears gushing out from his eyes. "She had an accident and all her joints have been affected, and it also affected her brain, so chances are excellent that she will lose her memory." Doctor responded. "Oh, God. But doctor, please, is she breathing well?" "No, she has difficulty breathing. That's why she's on oxygen, but she will be fine. Just thank these people who hastily brought her here, else she could have died in a few minutes." The doctor responded. "Oh, thank God. May God bless you people for saving this poor orphan's life." John thanked the passengers. "Sir, is she not your daughter?" one of the passengers asked. "Not at all. I met her on the road begging for food, while I was rushing my pregnant wife to this hospital, and she told me she doesn't have parents and the grandmother she is staying with is blind." John responded with teary eyes. "Oh, I feel so sad for this poor little girl." The passengers murmured. "Doctor, please, any money you need to treat this poor girl, please do not hesitate to let me know," said John. "Okay. But you will have to make a payment of 150,000 naira. These people who brought her here contributed 100K to start the treatment, so there is a remaining 150,000 naira balance." Doctor responded. "Okay, please send me your account details. Let me do the transaction." John replied while bringing out his phone from his pocket. After the transaction was successful, John said, "Please, doctor, I want to go to my wife's ward now. She just gave birth this morning." "Congratulations, sir, but please, sir, we need someone that will constantly be looking after this girl," said the doctor. "I will look after her. She is like a daughter to me, so I can't leave her alone here." One of the passengers volunteered to stay with Favor in the hospital. "I will also stay with her till she is being discharged." The lady who saw Precious inside the gutter volunteered to stay with her also. Thereafter, the doctor said one of them should be staying with her in the morning and while other person in the night, and they both agreed. A few weeks later, they discharged Favor, and fortunately she didn't lose her memory. As the doctor said, everything was working perfectly in her body. So after she has been discharged, John took her to his house, and the next morning she insisted on going back home, that her grandma might die of hunger and thinking. John hastily took her home as she insisted. When they got home, they saw a strange couple who were just trying to feed her grandma, and her grandma was crying bitterly because of Favor. "Grandma, I am back," said Favor. "My daughter, where are you?" "I am here, Grandma." "What?" "Mama Sarah, I can still recognize you," said John. "I am blind, I can't see you. Who are you, please? And how did you know my late daughter's name?" Favor's grandma asked while embracing Favor tightly. "Mama Sarah, it's me, John, that youth corper that was dating your daughter Sarah 6 years ago." "Corper John, is that you?" she asked. "Yes, it's me." "Grandma, do you know him?" Favor asked. "Yes, I know him, he was the one who—" She cried out. "Grandma, why are you crying? And what did he do?" Favor asked. "This man here was the one who impregnated your mother. So he's your biological father." Favor's grandma responded. "Mama Sarah, I don't understand what you're talking about. Are you saying Favor here is my daughter?" John asked confusingly. "Yes, a few weeks after you finished your youth service and traveled back to your town, I discovered that Sarah was pregnant. She told me you were the one who was responsible for the pregnancy, and she tried your line countless times, but she couldn't reach you. My phone was stolen, and a few months after my youth service I traveled abroad, and I just came back last year. I didn't know she was pregnant, but if truly she was pregnant a few weeks after I left the town, then I was the one responsible for the pregnancy because I was the one who disvirgined her." "But where is she right now?" John asked. She stammered. "Mama Sarah, why are you stammering? Or is she truly dead?" John asked. "I don't know whether she's dead or not. 3 months after she gave birth to Favor, one morning I went to a market, and when I returned from the market I heard Favor crying heavily, and I hastily rushed inside to check what happened to her, and when I got inside, Sarah and her belongings were nowhere to be found. I was wondering where she went to without informing me, and when I asked my neighbors they told me that they saw when she ran away from the house with her bag of clothes, and they were thinking I was aware. So since that time I haven't heard from Sarah, and it's almost 6 years since she disappeared." Mama Sarah responded. "Grandma, is that why you told me my mom died when I was 3 months?" Favor asked. "Yes, my daughter. But why would she do such a thing?" John asked. "I don't know, but I think she did that because of depression, frustration, and lack of money. Mama Sarah, I am taking you people to my house now." "No. I am not going. I don't want your wife to kill me and my daughter, please," she responded. "My wife is not that type of a woman. Please, Mama, follow me to my house. You people need to be taken care of," John begged. "Please, John the First, am very okay here. I don't want any problems, please. As you can see, I am blind. I can't even see you." "I know. But Mama, what caused the blindness?" John asked. "I was having sight problem, so I went to a hospital for eye surgery. It was that process I became blind completely," she responded. "Oh. God, that's too bad. Please, Mama, let's go to my house." Favor and her grandma summoned courage and followed John to his house. "Honey, please, who is that old blind woman?" John's wife asked. "She's Favor's grandmother." "And what is she doing here with her belongings?" Baby, please let's go inside and talk. Okay, but let it not be what I am thinking, because I will never allow that in this house. When they got to their room, please listen to me attentively. I met that woman 6 years ago when I was doing my NYSC, and her daughter was my favorite friend. After I finished my youth service, I traveled abroad and lost all their access, so when I saw the woman today, she told me that her daughter was pregnant for me and she gave birth to Favor. John, I hope you and that woman are not trying to ruin my marriage? John's wife asked. No, babe, why would you think such a thing? But how are you sure that the girl was pregnant for you? She asked. I slept with her before I traveled, and I was the one who disvirgined her. Where's the girl now? She asked. She's nowhere to be found. Her mom said she disappeared 3 months after she gave birth to Favor, and she's the only child the woman had. What? But why did you bring her blind mother here? She asked. Honey, I want her to stay here with us, and I will employ a nanny for her. God forbid, she won't stay under the same roof with me. She responded angrily. But why? She is a very good woman. My spirit detests her, and I don't want her here. She responded. Abigail, remember where I brought you, and remember you don't have anybody, and my family hate me because I got married to you. Please don't make me remember what happened in the past. Thank you for watching. Watch out for part 2 of this story. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment what you think about this story. Bye for now.